Hey, my name is PolishLynx, and today I wake up in a strange room. We're playing Katawa Shoujo, of course. Third episode. Let's continue, because this is super enjoyable, to be honest. Let's go! Solid morning light shimmers against the light grey ceiling. I have forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. That's why you keep them closed all day as well. I don't understand why the keyboard doesn't work with this game. This is my room, isn't it? My room. This is the third room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. The one in your house, the one in the hospital, and then here, right? Various things around here remind me that indeed it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bag's on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating until I open a bottle, shake out a pill and pop out a tablet from a foil sheet. I download the chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. What? I wouldn't know, really. I've never had uniforms I would like the Japanese ones. They are freaking nice, especially in black. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. It feels like a school uniform as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. Yeah. That goes for other things too. So far this place seems more or less like a normal school. I told you! Except for the people. No! The people are also normal. Like any other school. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday. Misha's constant laughter and Shizune's soothing sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. What do you mean? They are normal, man. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here? Anywhere. Normal anywhere. Yeah. What does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one. Yes, please. I want to participate in the club activities, because there was no such thing in my schools as well. As far as I'm concerned, at least. No, there weren't. I mean... Okay. In primary school, we had, like, a school newspaper. I was part of it. For 2 years. Okay. In junior high school, I believe there was one as well, but I honestly have no idea who was in it and where it took place, so it doesn't sort of count. And there were additional activities but it was literally just like additional physical education, so that was kind of pointless. And in high school, nothing, I believe, so that sucked. Yeah. So give me those in games, please. All through class, the question remains on my mind, so I decided to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I want to know, I should ask her. So here's the problem. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to green the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfect and evenly flat. Yeah, I don't understand. Can't you just write it to her then? I mean, it's not like Misha will be around all the time. I mean, sure, you could say, oh, learn the sign language. You don't learn that thing in one day for sure. Ooh. Sorry, Shi-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Shi-chan. My first thought is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha, please don't prove me right. The signing. Oh, that's right! Everyone is encouraged to join the club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events like the festival coming up in a few days. Nice! We also didn't have that. Damn it, Polish schools suck. So much. That's a fact, by the way. Even if there would be festivals, I'm sure that schools here would suck still. Almost every student in school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. So, you actually transferred in at the busy time. Maybe you can help out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. I know, Hichan. The truth is, it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so. She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly granula flourish and starts signing hard and heavy. Oh. Who cares? It was too fast for her, wasn't it? Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words out at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see heads starting to look in our direction. Not so loud. Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind a festival will inevitably change with time. Now it's about delicious fried food and the musical games that you play to win prizes. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. The stranger clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a button. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Yeah, in the past, you would get slapped with those into the hands. I didn't live in times that would happen for... Yeah, only at times where they would say they could do that to you, but they wouldn't ever do that. Fine noticing where we are. Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all for brushing it off without a care. We are in the middle of class and should start working. That's right, Shi-chan! What? That's right! Shi-chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? Oh, maybe she has some, proposition. It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchange between them. Misha's tone has also changed, although it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. You know, it's funny, I can literally just go entire screen with the game because it's window. Full screen just doesn't look too good. I'm sorry. Actually, why? You see it in full screen anyway. I don't see it in full screen, and that pains me a little bit. But can't be helped. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark occurs in my peripheral vision, catching my attention, and I just read this. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl go. Why doesn't he say anything? Hey-chan, is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me looking after the girl who left? No, nothing? Okay, well, like we were asking you. You don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? When did you ask that? I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. No, not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Sure. Yay! Okay, Hichan! Perfect! The rest of the class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. I'm super curious about her. I think I know which of the girls that was, but yeah. Before I had time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. She looks more than a little annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all our work on time. I'm just glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. What do you... Okay, you say that. But me, primary school, junior high school, still playing football, had to finish everything while in school. So I understand more or less someone's possible anger, even if they don't have to do what I was doing, but you know. I would quite literally wait for the bus on a goddamn grass and do my homework if I had to. Yeah, it is, Hit-chan! What? Impossible! Really? What? Did I say something? Really? I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but I might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really, Shizune can't hear me, but it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. And again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing and it will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest because contests are competitions over prize. If there is no prize online, it's not really a contest. That's true. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her? I never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. Are you sure, Hichan? Very sure. You're wrong, Hichan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them. Shizune pushes her glass up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-the-fact way. As I argue more, but the bell rings, and she quickly gets up and picks up her bag, looking at me expectantly. And that disgusting picture is still there. I mean, painting. I had almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them, and I actually forgot that there was this disgusting painting there. I did. But every time we get into the corridor, I get that reminded. Where do you want to eat? Cafeteria? That's so plain! Okay, let's go! Well, I guess, yeah. At my old school, I liked to eat outside. Near the back of the building, it was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. How do you not find places like that? I wonder if there is a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. Shizune and Misha pulled me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier.
So, Hichan, you want to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right, Hichan. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first.
Exchanging lots of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech.
Hichan, do you have anything you're really interested in?
I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. God damn it, I'm so into it, Void. That's the problem now. I don't follow teams and players on anything like that. Okay, that's actually true. I don't follow that as much as I used to. That was sort of like a religion at some point. But I got unused to do that. I follow like one team. As of late, I usually just read a lot. That's sort of true. I mean, hey, something every day, it's good for your brain. No matter how terrible your brain might be. I'm speaking of myself here now.
There's a book club, right, Hichan? Right? But it seems like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hichan, it's a really popular club.
I mean, I don't want to sound bad, but I guess given that we are in the school with all the illnesses and problems for the students, I would say something like book club having a lot of members kind of doesn't surprise me. Because they can't do everything. Like I would say any kind of physical clubs are probably very, very limited to the people. And again, there are like Olympics as well for, you know, for disabled people, right? And that's very great. So maybe we have clubs like that, but I guess that would need them to be really dedicated to it.
Okay, but more to the point. Hichan, does that mean that you don't have anything already in mind?
Not really.
Good! Great! That's great! Hichan, really great! Ha ha ha! Wah ha 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 ha!
Or something like that. Why is it so great?
No reason. Well, Hichan, other the clubs and the upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student Council!
I see. Well, I didn't know this school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic setup for just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure that two of them know this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly takes control of the discussion in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has the voice. To voice, not the voice, to voice whatever she says. Again, as I said, we are actually living in very convenient times when you can just, for example, get the freaking smartphone and type stuff up, right? And send it. Even, you don't even need to message it, you know, through the text messages, but some app that is free then, basically, more or less. Well, not counting the internet fees, but you know. I have unlimited data somehow so, you know, I'm good. But again, in the past it was possible as well. Just write it on a piece of paper, right? Except you would need to carry this all the time. I guess there's always a solution of sorts.
Right. Hichan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join.
Why?
Well, for one, we could hang out every day, Hichan. Shichan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shichan is the president.
I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusted her glasses and signed something to Misha.
Of course, we're not trying to get you to join us because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council, and therefore heaven incentive tried to get you to.
Just say you are scouting people. So, you're admitting that.
No. We admit nothing. I mean, Hichan. Of course, it would be nice if we joined and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school.
I mean, I guess. Then again, I've never been nominated to be... No, have I or have I not been? No, I've never been nominated to be the part of like a class council, supposed. Like the president of class, vice president, and what was the last one? I don't remember the name. Like the bastards that basically would collect money for some small things. But yeah, I've never been part of it. So, because I was never part of that, I would never be able to be part of the entire student council. Funny. Not that I really wanted to anyway. I mean, I would not benefit from that really, I think. Not like in Poland you can use it for resim or whatever, really.
Yep, it's true, Hichan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hichan?
I kind of regret not being a part of any kind of, like, I don't know, let's say organization or whatever, of club or something like this at university. But again, I don't know if there were any as well. Damn. I've never seen anything like this. The only thing I know that was running was literally a radio, a university radio that you can normally catch in an actual radio. Not like, it's not like an internet one, but you know, you drive car, boop, and there you go. But would I be fit for it? I don't think so. Like, I would feel maybe comfortable with it if it was run in English. I don't know why. I just don't feel confident in stuff like this in my own language. It's easier in English for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway.
Yep, it's true, Hichan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school? Huh?
I can't tell if she's being genuine or if this is just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest. Although they are really pretty cute to begin with. Well.
So it's settled then! Welcome to the student council, Hichan!
What? No.
Oh, Sishi-chan! Of course it wouldn't go so easily. Yep, that's right. For it would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well, Shi-chan owes me candy now.
You're betting on it? Hey, my life's not a game here. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes.
That's interesting. Hichan, let's play a game.
That's not what I said.
How about rich man, poor man, Hichan?
What? Okay, is that an actual game? Rich man, poor man game. What is that? Daifugo? Is that the thing? The Grand Millionaire? What is that? You got 52 cards. Objective games to get rid of all the cards one has as fast as possible by playing progressively stronger cards than those of the previous player. Oh, I know what this is. Okay, I know what this is now. I didn't know that name, like rich man, poor man. Anyway.
If you lose, you have to join the student council.
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Well, because you two both have the same incentive and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that isn't my goal. But what this means is that both of you can team up and I'll be at a clear disadvantage. So, I will have to decline.
Hey Chan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us and that we would pull something so ingenious? That makes me sad.
Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin.
In order to atone for hurting youngers' feelings, you should definitely join the student council.
No.
How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man?
Paper football?
Yeah, it's a game they play in America.
I mean, this one is obvious. This one everyone knows. Even if American football is not a thing here.
You make a paper triangle and then you try to shoot it past goalposts that the other player makes with their fingers.
But then again, you'd probably, if we speaking football, like somehow like this, we'd play a different thing over here. It would be like you draw a goddamn pitch with the goals, and you know, and you make lines, and whoever get, you know, one player, yeah. Let's say player, whatever. One player makes one line, the other the next one, and so on until you get to the next goal. And you can't go on the same route, and also you can bounce off the, let's say, sidelines or end lines. And also from the spots you already went, you can bounce out of it. It was pretty neat, not gonna lie. If you didn't have anything better to do, you could play that. And no one would suspect anything, kind of, because, you know, well, they're writing something in their notebooks, right? Whatever. Even if you put a piece of paper somewhere, it would be fine still. As long as the teacher didn't approach and saw that, good to go. But he didn't care really. Go ahead.
Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hichan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Shichan! That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men.
More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it.
Yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hichan?
Shizune from said Bisha telling me that she probably was supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me to the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
Okay, Hichan, how about Risk? But game of world domination.
I know what that is. Say.
It's really fun, Hichan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything.
Sounds like Shizune would be good at it.
If you want to play, we can after school. Really, Shi-chan? We can play just for fun, Hi-chan. Shi-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there are no strings attached.
Well, okay.
Okay, perfect. We'll see you after school in the student room then, Hi-chan.
Wait, why there?
Because that's where we keep the game.
I grandmas to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end I agree, but only after getting Shizune to knowledge that I don't mean anything concrete, just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends, and we go back to class. I saw her. You think I didn't? I did. During after classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a crowd. Without a crowd. Where did I get the crowd from? Without the word. Oh my god. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. I want to talk with her. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the bus that they're on the guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell.
Wahahaha! What's wrong, Hi-chan? That's right, we're just going to go play a game of Risk, remember?
I don't know, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking that... Ow, my leg. I start thinking that when we sit down to play game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to this... not I think Katawa Shoujo. Misha. Oh, okay. Now that I think about it, it wasn't mentioned, so I wanted to check really quickly. Maybe it will be mentioned later on. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I wanted to get some information about her, but apparently I won't find out what I was looking for. Basically, what her condition is. And apparently it's unknown. Interesting. Getting to the student council room is simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it! That makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly.
That's not true, Hi-chan. She just says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed.
Life is threatened. The reception are changing. Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that! I know you heard me! You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it is quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There is a big table in the center surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer, just a couple of Filling cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a pot plant in here or something. But the most noticeable thing that this room does have is other people. Are we early? No! What? What do you mean no? That means nobody else is coming today?
Yeah, that's right!
Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically.
Hichan, let's play Risk! Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up.
While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filling cabinets and throws it onto the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm to the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. What's up?
Hichan! Shichan wants you to know that you are taking too long to make a move. Shichan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council.
Oh, actually, oh, Australia. Australia is nice for as long as we are not getting to the danger zones. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she dangled it over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no!
She admires your fighting spirit and will be a benevolent dictator who will spare you people if you agree to join the student council.
You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. Oh, that's the word.
Magnanimous?
She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts with a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing.
Well, please, slow down. Hichan says you're going to lose.
Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion.
Okay.
Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief.
She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't.
It's a trap! It's smarter to play defensively here. She has a point. Attack. Aggressively.
I don't know. I mean, offense is the best defense, right? So let's go with that.
She's either really mocking me or trying to trick me. I have nothing else to lose, so I might as well try something different. Maybe if I spread out my forces and try to control more territories, I can recoup the advantage. She seems to focus on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain more small countries. It's worth a shot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyway. She should adjust her glass victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration.
I win! Yay!
Yeah, there is no need to translate that. It was pretty clear.
Don't look so sad, Hichan. You're really giving it your best. That's what I thought. Sometimes your best just isn't good enough. For if I knows that, it's me. You did very well for someone who just learned how to play today. Hichan, you attacked Island and North America at the same time. That's a very daring move. Hichan is impressed. The mark of great people is that they are daring and that they can follow through. You're already halfway there. Isn't it great, Hichan? That is enough, huh? Just potential isn't enough. There's no point to potential if you don't take the first step. There's no point to it if you don't keep going. I want to see more. You're right, Hichan, but that's so demanding.
Shizune leans forward, suddenly looking a lot less playful and more like the serious person I expected her to be from the start.
Hichan, would you like to join the student council?
Surely doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day of school, so I'm hesitant about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. But spending time with Shizune and Misha, that seemed like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Then explain it to them! Maybe I'll get back to you on it.
Okay, Hichan, but I hope you're not just saying that so we don't feel bad.
No, really.
Really? Hichan, if you're going to say that, you're saying that it is the truth and there can't be any mistaking it.
I know. I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Shizune smiles at that in a mischievous way that feels like twisting the knife in the wound of my loss. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I've spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I want to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? Where's the clock? Right there, on the wall.
It should be. Unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Hichan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. You can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is?
No thanks, it's okay. See you tomorrow. I know how it will be. You'll show me only if I join the student council, right? Let's go.
Bye-bye!
One flight of stairs up and I ran into problems. The first of one, the disgusting painting again. The second floor halfway is a carbon copy of the third floor for me. Floor 1. White, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? Then check. I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, for just barely ajar so that I can see it's open, nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider of the school can't be shaken from my mind so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if growling from a deep sleep, for it's much easier to open than I'd anticipated. Leaning over and poke my head even further inside to gain sight of the room as far as possible, the meek "Hello" on my lips is quickly snatched away. This is not as I was expecting. I managed let the door open to its full extent, taking the side of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me.
Hello there. May I help you?
Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, is the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi. Sorry for intruding, I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand.
Care to take a seat?
Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks? I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, began resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That, and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office.
I take it you're a new student to Yamaku.
Yeah, I just transferred yesterday. I get a distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hastened too much before realizing the futility of the action.
I'm Lily Sato. Pleased to meet you.
Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup.
Would you care for a drink?
No, I'm good. I'm good, not sponsored, no. Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in this stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hands often slightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. She shouldn't be shy, I have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offer, preparing the drink.
So,
her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance.
Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school.
The school library. Some classmates told me that it was on the floor. She finishes pouring water in the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the cup indicating it being stirred.
I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi as are most students. To be with them is you're in class free, no?
Yeah, that's right. In the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand.
He's quite a character. I'll imagine you'll come to like him. Most do.
Oh, that's how we look like, okay. As she sets down the tea, I gently leg it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person. That's bullshit, I hate coffee. But this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. I'm a tea person. Nonetheless, the smell is quite nice. I hardly think it would be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face.
Really, please. There's no need to be too formal.
She says that in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech.
Ah, well.
I guess I should try to ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third year classes.
Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the 3rd floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and he's specifically for blind and partially blind students.
I see. Wrong choice of words. I understand. I mean, sorry. I feel like slagging myself for the fox bar. Looking at her face, for she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. I mean, technically, why would she, right?
My bad, there's no need to change your speech on my account.
Sure, sorry, I guess I'm showing my newness here. Newness?
An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions.
A category which would include her, it seems. All ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I seek into another segue. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Think on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at.
I come here fairly often during lunchtimes. My duties as a class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so I find that I use this room for having tea.
Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kinds of clubs are there to join?
The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunch times, the baseball club, the book club in a room near the library.
There are also numerous small ones too, such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I just want to get on my feet, rushing to a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join one?
It isn't, for it is encouraged.
Oh, good. That's a relief. Whew. I've really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lee does the same. As I look over the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. The time's gone quickly.
Sorry?
Right, she's blind. Of course, she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of time.
Sorry, Hisao. I had been to keep you from the library for so long.
I quickly moved to allay her concern. No! It's okay! The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case.
True. It's open until 6:30 during weekdays.
A quick glance at my watch confirms it's 5 minutes after 4. So we are safe. I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her.
It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is?
I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it, alright. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me, and basically that would mean they are on the level of Roro no Azoro. But you know, which they seem to have a habit of doing, basically.
It's alright, I was going to be talking to the librarian there in a case. I could introduce you.
This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that would be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipping the handle of her back on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Liz looks much thinner and longer. Yes, oh my god, really? His must be for support, whereas Liz is for navigation. Yes. If his was for navigation, he wouldn't be in our class, as we already found out. Together we did the peaceful room and entered the empty hallway on the way to the library. The disgusting painting is still here. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to much higher as we slowly walked through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently suited in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciated smile and gesture, taking the lead as we file in. Nice. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. That's a nice library. Now that I think about it, the only proper library I had throughout my student life was at university. Other schools, no. There were like super small rooms, and they basically more or less had only the stuff you had to read for the Polish lessons, and that's it. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school library with that distinct smell of old books, giving the place an almost old world air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or in the dorms.
Yuko, are you here?
She says it to... Not interested. She says it to thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't say this. What's unexpected is that he draws a reaction. Something from under the counter toots against it, followed by a quiet wail. Hello, we don't know each other. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out of and bounces up to extremely rigid attention.
Hi Lily, how can I help you?
Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual. She's rubbing the back of her hand. I mean head, not hand.
Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing, just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me.
What do you mean? She's quick to reverse his apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter.
Yeah, worse things have happened.
The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shoves some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit a library perfectly. I don't know if that's true.
Ah, Lily, did you get my message?
I actually wouldn't mind trying working at library, not gonna lie.
Message? Oh, the two imported books that arrived. Right. They finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but...
Amidst her celebration, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure she notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does. Yo.
Oh no, I'm sorry for not seeing you before. Do you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry.
The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling.
He's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, the school librarian.
Pleased to meet ya.
Hisao, right, Hisao. Pleased to meet you too, Hisao.
For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind, so she won't forget.
Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little stuff about the library?
There are books here. Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror.
Please, I don't know what we could be interested in. It's too much responsibility.
How it's any responsibility at all? I don't get it. But her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But why is it not? I feel like it's not capturing it. Okay, I would need to be closer, much closer, or much louder. Okay.
But
so there are a lot of books in Braille here. I attempt to say that I'm asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work at least partially. So as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense.
Well, I think about a third or a fourth of Yamuku's library is either in Braille or audio.
Makes sense, given all the blind students that be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place?
Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelf all of them.
Now that I think, how much can a librarian earn? Librarian salary. In Prolonged, it's probably some creepy way. Okay, so from like around 48,000 to 78. That's a solid gap. Average of $27 per hour in the States. Interesting. But it seems like an interesting job to me, to be honest.
It's so troublesome and they wave so much, I wish I could quit this job.
A very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisle stand if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me.
Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I'll have those books if it's alright with you.
My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I study the spines of books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read a blurb. Then give me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is. A library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had deal with Lee snuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd student sitting at the desk either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting on one of the several beanbags. Yahoo! It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out to the classroom earlier. I think I know what's up with her. I'm pretty sure I've read about that even before I played Katawa Shoujo. You mean the basically reddish half of her face and so on. I know what's going on here. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm.
What?
In fact, their mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whiz in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there is no harm in introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She is a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that part of her face, at least a third, if not half, is pretty badly scared. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second I'm shocked and divert my eyes to the book in her hands before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes too many seconds to collect myself and remember what I walked up to her for. Hi, I'm new here. Hisao Nakai, we're in the same class. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Let's go straight to first one. Hi, I'm new here. Hisao Nakai. Did I say Naoki earlier? Whatever. We're in the same class. I just transferred you to the other eye. Maybe you don't remember. I did a self-introduction of sorts. The girl still doesn't say a word, but simply stares at me wide-eyed. I'm still getting used to the place, so I'm trying to meet as many people as I can. So, what's your name?
Hanako.
Her speech is stuttering and so quiet that it is barely audible even in the still library. Somehow I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Yeah, it was very wrong. Hanako, so what are you reading? She gently tips the book upwards so that I can read the title, at the same time hiding her face behind it. She must have noticed me staring before. Life of P. I've never heard of it before. What's it about?
A boy and a tiger on a boat.
I can see this taking some time. It's interesting, isn't it good? She nods from behind the book, but stays silent. She looks kinda tense, a bit like Yuko earlier, but in a different way. More like petrified with terror, I'd say. So the mystery delinquent girl turned out to be anything but, and she's quivering in a way that makes it look she's mortally afraid of me. The only way out of this, as far as I can tell, is to try to get a normal conversation going. Is it a library book? I'm looking for new ones to read, but there's just so many! Wait, did you... Yo, the eye! What's going on with the eye? It's changed color. You see? Dang! Wait, was it earlier like this as well? Okay, it is like that, okay. So it is just me.
No, it's mine.
Oh! So, do you come here often? A huge blush splats on Hanako's face and her eyes widen far larger than I thought it was possible for eyes to do. Did she interpret my lame attempt at small talk as a feeble attempt to pick her up?
I didn't mean like that. I've got to Savi!
Whoosh. Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her like takeoff catches me off guard, so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she's nowhere to be seen. Lee and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you see notice a girl run past here?
Maybe. What did she look like?
Long dark hair, kinda shy. She had, well, some scars on her face.
You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you?
Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading, tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something.
Oh dear. Yuko, would you excuse me? I had better try and find her.
Sure.
I'll just hold to those until you come back.
What's going on?
I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time.
Right. I'll see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing. I just talked to her, tried to get to know her. Didn't even manage to get started. Yuko sighs and looks awfully bothered, even more so than she did before. I guess you weren't wrong so much as tactless. Tactless? That girl is a bit of a special case. It's like she never really talks to anyone. Isn't that a bit, like, strange? I wonder, it's just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing. Then again, maybe it's just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. Perhaps I was being a tactless after all. But how should I deal with these people? Force myself to act overly casual only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resisted. I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way. Sorry. Voice, but okay. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes it mad and she blushes heavily. What? Did that sound stupid? Not how. It sounds really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us has anything to add as Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. People who have papers on the desk really like doing that. Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing, but I have to do it. I hope that's not too inconvenient for you. Yeah, I want some books, but I left them over here because I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from beside the bin box where Hanaka and I were sitting and returned to the counter. Wow, you read a lot, don't ya? Yeah, I surprised myself with that too, honestly, at least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time early this year, so I just kind of started reading books to fill that time. I couldn't do much else. I see. But she doesn't say anything else and just checks out my books for me. Is this what they call tact? Kind of. Holding the library books with one arm, I throw my pocket for the key to the door. A sudden sound from behind startles me, make me nearly drop the books I'm carrying or the key that I almost managed to get into the lock. Who is it? I turn around to see who is talking to me. It's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although the light glinting of his glasses in the dark gives a sinister look. Just me. This makes me pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is suddenly strained and quick. Yes, but we've met before. Yesterday. I don't think so. I don't remember someone who I met on yesterday. When was that? What day is it today? I tried to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we've met before. You live across the hall. You're Kenji. Kenji jumps back, his eyes filled with uncomprehending fear. How do you know my name? Dad, this can only mean one or two things. Either we have met and you are telling the truth and I just can't remember it, or you are a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. His eyes start around me, trying to peek into my room. Although it's hard to believe he can see anything through those thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to maniac in less than a minute. I'm not a psychic. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. Kenji points a finger in my face dreamingly. Unlike you! Stop that, man! We met yesterday, what's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies! If you think you can pass as Hisao because I'm legally blind, you are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim, maybe at a distance, but who do you think you're kidding? I want to grab him by the shoulders, thank him. Exasperated, I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay there! Kenji comes closer one careful step at a time. I still so lest he assault me physically, although I doubt he could do much damage if he did. Oh wait, I said now. Damn, it really is you! Sighing again. And then, once again, for good measure, I step backward just in case. What's up, man? You don't look too good, I think. Something wrong? I know, just had something stupid come to me. A few stupid things actually, even if you discount this one. I can't get a proper touch of other people here, and I have no idea if it's because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we've had any contact either. That's rough, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. It's hard. The hard reality we live in. Yeah. I'm slowly starting to think that Kenji isn't necessarily living the same reality as the rest of us. Kind of. You see, this is how it is, this world. There's no justice, you see. Even when I lose, I win because I don't lose the lesson. What does that even mean? I mean, that's kinda wise, not gonna lie. It does matter. He dismisses it, flatly with a wave of his hand. So, what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face? It's nothing. I just scared some girl off accidentally. Literally too. She actually ran away from me. Was my fault, really. I think I'm not really used to all of this yet. A girl! Cute one? Cute, yes. That's a hard question. She has a nice body and really beautiful hair, but the face also was nice. Guess you could do either way. I mean, I'm gonna say that she was cute, still. Boop. Yeah, cute, I guess. Wait, did they... The music went down when the choice appeared? What? Yo! That's not used in any of the events so far. And this is from 9 years ago. Nuts. Nice. GG. Yeah, cute, I guess, yeah. I knew it! There are a lot of cute girls here, and strangely disproportionate amount. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of the school. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen? I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets. Yeah, dark secrets, extremely dark, like a black hole. Have you noticed that the number of girls in the school is slightly but significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60 to 40. Like in any school, to be honest. I don't think I've ever been in a class where the proportions would be like that. Wouldn't be like that. Unless... No, that's not it. I mean, I guess if you're going into, like, technical university, it would be the other way around. But, you know. He turns his head to the left and stares off in the distance at nothing. Why is it like this? I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't appear to be that bad, but that is a full 20%. One would think that a school with such a huge pool of women would be a man's dream, but no! What I'm about to tell you could blow your mind. Are you ready? I know where this is going, but I think I won't be missing much by cutting out now. No, I'm not ready. On get as far as turning the door before Kenji starts talking again, showing that he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not. I believe that this school is a battleground, the site of a feminist infiltration. The disparity in the number of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In case this Cold War turns hot, they will have superiority in numbers. Just another skirmish in the eternal war against the force of the feminists. They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not a 60-40 split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women are the majority by hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the build-up military has always been the clear sign of imminent war. Japan is just the first step. Our economy is badass, and the country itself is small and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. The perfect target. They're so cunning, as expected of women. Soon, the day will come when... Kenji's voice trails off ominously. But that's why you can't trust them. They'll string you along, and then kill you. Just as they killed me. You'll end up just like me. Oh hell no. I can't stop myself from blurting it out. Hey, what the hell does it mean? You said it, not me. It's the best I can think of. So you're not supposed to say something like that. I'm so rude. Where was I? Oh yeah, vast feminist conspiracy. Stop! I lost your way back there somewhere around feminist infiltration. Too hard to follow. It's cool. I have some graphs and stuff in my room. And puppets. You like puppets? No puppets, please. You don't like okay. Graphs are still cool for, right? He speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking. Moving his hands in an animated way as he continues to rant on. This is too strange. I had his spank as relatively normal, but it's clear that I was wrong. Something to mind, dude? Just think about what it's like to be the last sane man in an insane world. Kenshi frowns, looking deeply upset. You mean that's you? That can't be, because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. That is my dream. You can't just steal a man's dream. What the hell? There can't be two last sane men. You would invalidate that whole last part, and that part is kind of important. There can only be one. Like in that foreign movie where there could only be one, and in the end there is only one left dude. One dude left. Because that was the point. I have never seen anyone talk so heatedly and so defensively about absolutely nothing before. Anyway, if you wait here, I can get my graphs. Also have a list of other dark and complex conspiracies that this school holds. Unstangled us. Quick, finish my analogy for me. Be a pal. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed now. It's extremely late. That doesn't sound like an analogy, but whatever. I like you. You seem like a cool dude. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I try to explain the vast famous conspiracy to them. Denial is a terrible thing. Later. He claps me on the back and then vanishes in the room. So quickly and quietly, it's like he didn't even open the door, but instead walked right through that door like a ghost. I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened, so I give up and just go to my room, kicking off my shoes before falling face first into bed. It takes me some time to relax and get up so I can get started on homework. It's because the sheets are cool and comforting against my cheeks, and it feels good just lying there with my eyes closed. This school is like some kind of bizarre and surreal island. It's isolated on top of a mountain, and each person is stranger than the last. I just can't seem to fit in. What irony. One would think that fitting in a place that's made for people who are unfit for everywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Although I say that, it does help take the edge off, and the words are left echoing of an empty walls. I guess it's not as bad as I expected for. This place is more a school and less a hospital pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. If nothing else, the scenery is beautiful. I opened one eye, seeing the school books and bottles of pills arranged side by side on my desktop. Maybe this place is too much like a normal school after all. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Time to end the episode. Damn, it's a long one! It really was a long one. Anyway, for now, hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you tomorrow, of course, and we'll get more Katawa Shoujo into our systems. So, hope to see you there. Have a wonderful day or night. Bye bye!